Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of Crafting with Class. Today I am sharing the Diamond Press grip mats that are going to be released very soon, and I wanted to give you some basic information and some comparisons with some of the other grip mats out on the market, and hopefully to help you decide if this mat is right for you. In part two, I'm going to go ahead and do all the techniques that I usually do on my waffle floor grip mats onto the diamond press and see how it works. So I hope this is helpful, and if you have any questions that I didn't answer, please leave them in the comments. Thank you so much and enjoy. Hello everyone, I am so excited to take a look at this diamond press grip mats. As you see here. Now, this was not sent to me. I purchased this myself. As soon as I saw it from the preview, I was like, let's go, put it on the website. I need to get this. So once it was on, I got it because I was very, very, very curious to see how it compares to the, I don't know if it's the original, as far as I know, I think it is. Ones from Waffle Flower. So I have two, the mini Misti one and then the one for the regular Misti, and I love it. So of course I wanted to see how this compares to the diamond press one, and I'm not looking for like better, worse, but more like comparable. Is it comparable? Is it going to behave the same way? How is it priced? Is this a more affordable version that does the same job type of thing? So it's not, I'm not here to bash anybody or whatever. Anyway, all right, so let's get started because that's what I want to check and see for myself. So when you purchase the grip mats, you're going to get an instruction sheet. I do want to point out on the HSN website, it says like set of 6 grip mats, but that's not exactly what you get. So I don't want there to be any confusion because what you get are 2 grip mats. So let me show you. You get the smaller grip mat. I'm going to put it on this paper so hopefully you can see it a little bit better. So you get one smaller grip mat, and this one measures 6.5 by 8.5, and you get 2 acetate grids. Okay, so you can put them either on top of your mat or underneath your mat as, basically a guide. So to make sure that you're, placing your images or whatever in the right place. So you get those 2. So you get the smaller grip mat and 2 grip guides, acetate guides. And then you get the larger mat. This one measures 9 by 13, and then you get the 2 grid acetate sheets. So you don't get 6 mats, you get 2 mats and 4 acetate sheets. So I just wanted to clarify that because I thought that might be confusing for somebody. All right, so as I mentioned, in the instruction sheet, you get very good instructions about how you may want to use your grid mat. So without the grid underneath, with the grid underneath, and it tells you, step by step. And I will say Diamond Press does a really good job with their visual photos or illustrations. At the bottom it says, note the 6.5 by 8.5, which is the smaller of the mat, will fit in the Misti platform and other stamping platforms. So I was thinking, oh, okay, well it must fit in their platform, right? But it doesn't. So let me show you. And we'll get into this later, but I don't want this video to be super long. But this is their stamping platform, which I like. I've reviewed this pretty thoroughly in a video when I bought this one to see how it compared to the Misti. And I don't think this is going to work. And I will tell you quickly why, even though I haven't tested it or anything. But let me give you an example. So when you get, this is the mini Misti. There is like room inside. So there's a lip here, and the lip is about 1/4 inch. So let me see if I can get that with my ruler. So if you were to stick this, I'm going to see if I can do this so that you can see what I'm saying. like there. Okay, so you can see that when I put the ruler on that lip, it's a 1/4 inch. So you have a 1/4 inch of space, and this is where your mat will tuck into, right? So that you don't, so basically you're not using the foam pad that comes inside, right? So you get the little foam pad that's like the 1/4 inch or slightly less that goes in there. So instead of this, right, you can just stick this and you don't need the magnets, which is amazing. I love it. Okay, so basically I'm thinking that because the diamond press one doesn't have a lip like that, so if I were to measure the little lip area, it is like an eighth, if that, like there's no room. So I don't think that you can just stick the mat on here, first of all, because, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, so if they made this, you know, grit mats for stamping platforms, why didn't they make one the size of theirs, right? Like, wouldn't that make sense? And I think not, because then what would happen is this mat would be too thick and then you couldn't stamp it well. That's what I'm thinking, right? But I will try it out and see. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But you also have this little bumper here, okay, so that it's leveled with this side. So this right here would prevent you from really pressing down when you have this mat inside. But that's just my theory right now. I haven't tested it. It's just kind of by observing, you know, and what kind of would make sense to me. All right, so anywho, let's go on. So you also get how to stencil with the mats, how to apply paste with the mats. And let me tell you, I have a tip for you, because this is dangerous in my opinion. How to ink your die cuts, and then regular off the edge stamping, and how to do the stamp alignment, and then how to clean, store, and important information about the grit mats. Okay, now before we go any further, I just want to take a moment to compare prices. So waffle flour is available currently in 6 sizes. A 4x4 that retails for $14, a 4 3/4 by 6 that retails for $19, and this is the one that fits in the mini Misti. A 5.5 by 8.5 that is $27. A 6.5 by 8.5 that is $29, and this fits in the regular Misti. And then a 6 by 6 that measures, or sorry, that is $21, and then a 7.5 by 11 that is $36. So those are the ones available from Waffle Flour. Diamond Press is bringing in 2 sizes. It is $34.95 for both. One is the smaller one, is 6.5 by 8.5, which fits in the regular Misti, and then a 9 by 13. So if we compare, if I buy the small one that fits in the Misti from Waffle Flour, I'd be paying $29 just for that mat. So for $6.99 more, you would get the 9 by 13 mat, which is a deal, right? It's definitely a more affordable way to go, because 9 by 13 doesn't, you know, their biggest mat is only 7.5 by 11. So this is a good deal. Now, with both the Waffle Flour and Diamond Press, it comes with 2 acetate guide sheets for each size grit mat that you purchase. Okay. Now, the other one I also want to mention is Altenew, because they also have a grid mat that is 7.5 by 7.5 to fit their stamp wheel, and that retails for $23.99. So that's just another option. I really don't have anything more to say, because, you know, I first got the Waffle Flour ones and I love them, and so I didn't need to like look at anything else. I was just curious about the Diamond Press because, you know, I wanted to see how it compares, and, you know, that's pretty much it. So that's just to give you an idea, you know, but hopefully you can make, you know, the decision that makes sense for you. So I just wanted to bring that up. Okay, so we talked about using the smaller grit mats. in the regular size Misti. But if you don't have a Misti, can you still use this? Of course, absolutely. So you can either, if you have a glass mat, okay, so if your work surface is a glass mat, then it's all ready to go. So you would just put your mat right on top and you're ready to go. No problem. Okay, so then the other way that you can use the mat, if you don't have a glass mat, is a silicone sheet. So if you have any kind of silicone sheet, so you would just stick it on, and you don't have to use the waffle flour, but just any kind of silicone sheet and you're ready to go. It's not going to budge. So those are the options. So a glass mat, any type of silicone sheet, and you're good to go. And of course the stamp platform like the Misti, you're good to go. Okay, so those are the ways that you can use it. Now, if you're going to use it in the Misti tool, okay, so there is like a top and a bottom to this mat. It doesn't seem like it, but you're going to notice that one edge, oh boy, this is going to be hard to show you, but one edge is going to be slightly longer than the other. So for example, okay, so let me just show you on the scratch paper. So when you look at your mat, like one side is slightly longer than the other side. So for example, if I'm looking at the mat from the side, it's going to look like this. Okay, so let me zoom in just so it's going to be like this. So one edge is going to be longer. So for example, you can see here, this would, if I were to continue, right, it would stop like right here. That's where it would be even, but this side goes a little bit longer. So I hope my illustration makes sense. So the side that is slightly longer, and it's, you know, you're going to be able to tell when you see it for yourself. I know it's hard to get it on camera, but you're going to be able to tell. So that little bit, tiny bit longer edge is what's going to go into your Misti. Let me take my waffle flour one out so I can show you. But the waffle flour one also has the same design of that little lip, little edge. Okay. So here is the diamond press one. So if I take it off the carrier sheet carefully, you don't want to stretch it out or anything. Okay, so I know when looking at it, this side is the little bit longer side, so that's the side that's going to go down. Okay, so I'm going to take that first edge and I'm going to line it up with the edge here and on the side, and then once I have it here, then I can just roll it into place. Yep, and it's going to fall right in there. So as you can see, if it's perfectly in the Misti as well. And so this is how you would use it in the Misti. And then of course, you know, you want to put your acetate sheet on top to protect the static cling that keeps your paper on there, and so that you don't have like little fuzzies or dog hair like you would have in my house, you know, on there. So that's how that would work. Okay, so just some quick side-by-side comparisons. So on the right, I have the Misti. I put an M on the carrier sheet just so I don't confuse them. And then this one is DP for diamond press. So as you can see, the small mat is the same size, the 6.5 by 8.5. Let me take the carrier sheet off. So by just like feeling them, they do feel similar. I won't say exactly the same. I feel like the waffle flour one, I don't know, I put M, but it's the waffle flour one. Or let me put it this way. Okay, so the waffle flour one feels a little bit heftier. But as far as thickness, I really don't see a difference just by looking at them both. So I don't know if that helps you, but they look identical to me as far as thickness, but this feels a little heftier. This feels a little bit more malleable. This one's a little bit, see, it's harder to like make it like wavy. But I don't know if it's because this is brand new and this one I've had since whenever it was launched. And so I don't know. This one's crystal clear. This one's a little bit not. But again, that's because this one's been used. So yeah, I mean, apart from those, obvious things, I feel like this is just a little bit softer. This one is a little bit more rigid. See, it won't like bend, but apparently they're both photopolymer, which is the same material that your like regular, photopolymer stamps are made out of. So yeah, now this is kind of what I wanted to go through just in this video to break it apart. So this is like part one, where I'm just going over the basics, the differences and comparisons, so that you can decide, is this something that would benefit you in your crafting or not. So in part two, I'll actually use the diamond press to do all the things that I would normally do on my waffle flower one. Okay, so that is coming up for part two. If there are any questions as far as what I've gone over today, please leave them in the comment section. Hopefully I didn't forget anything important. And but please let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer those and even make another video if I need to clarify anything. So if you're on the fence about this, I don't think you should be. But we're going to find out for sure in the next video when we put it through the paces, right? And that's when we're going to be able to tell. So until then, please have a wonderful day. And until next time, bye. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I am putting the video of my review of the Diamond Press stamp tool. So if you're interested, you can take a look at that here. And as always, have a lovely crafternoon. Bye.